I have a question I'm dying to ask.
Ooh.
Okay.
Go.
Yeah, go.
All right. So one of my favorite parts, I think one of our favorite parts of just experiencing you as a performer and artist are your visuals, right? So does your taste, because we kind of talk about this sometimes, like animation in general, does your taste in animation influence the music you make, or is it kind of the other way around where you're like making music and you're cultivating like, all right, like what can I bring that I enjoy taste-wise, animation-wise to my story? Because we saw you live at Purchase once, and it was just like, we showed up, and I think it was maybe like one of the first times I met you, and like the screen was behind you and each song was different, and I was like, how did he know that like that was gonna like tell what he's trying to say right now? And I was like, which one came first? So do you have a order?
Yeah, I do. Nick and I spoke about it like a little bit, like on the way here, and like I think I'm very much like a visual learner, but also a visual like creative. Like I have like synesthesia, but like I don't see like colors. I more see like scenes, or I see like a place or like a picture.
That's helpful as an artist.
Yeah. So like I'll like hear like a beat or something, and like I'll instantly like be able to like see like a scene in a movie, or like see like I don't know, something from like my childhood or something, and then it's like, okay, now I just have to like create something like around this image.
That's nuts.
So cool. That ties into like that question. Like, I don't know if you saw, but he posted like his influences, and like most of them were movies.
Yeah, for
the album, and I'm like, wait, where's the music? And it's like you're making music based off of films and visuals, and that's like so fucking interesting. Like it's so different.
That's
so
crazy.
You were telling me that you kind of work that way, right? Like you're more the album person, the more like big concept person than like releasing singles. And I think this actually ties into like a bigger conversation about you, which is that like there are a lot of trends right now in the streaming industry, like releasing singles, like short form content, like using, I don't know, the best mic that you can possibly get your hands on for vocals on a record. And those three things I just named, you have gone against. And so in a way you're kind of pushing against the grain. And where is that coming from?
Honestly, I don't. It's, I don't know. I mean, it's kind of just like how I feel like I've always been. I've always kind of been like against whatever like the norm is, and I've kind of like questioned things. So I guess that's like transferred to music, but also like working with Sean Leon a lot, like closely, like he really showed me like how to be like a true artist. Like I would not be like sitting at this table with y'all, like if it wasn't for him, like I probably wouldn't even be doing music anymore, to be honest with you. Like
shout out Leon.
Facts.
Yeah.
The goat. But just being a fly on the wall for him, but also like having conversations like as we got like closer and closer and like developed our bond, like he's someone that always does that. Like if everybody else is going left, like his brand is like the Black Sheep Nirvana. So he's like always like presented himself as like the black sheep, and you know, if everybody else is going left, he's gonna go right, and vice versa. And I feel like kind of by being so close to him for a while, like I kind of like picked that up as well. So yeah, I think that's like mostly what it is. I'm not sure where else it like really like comes from.
Really
but
cool.
that feels right to you. That feels right for your artistry.
It does, yeah. Like it's not like something where I'm like, okay, this is like how it has to be for like everyone else. It's just like the way that like I can like present like what it is that I'm doing. Like if I was able to present something in like EPs, then I would do it like that way. Yeah.
Do you feel
Dude,
like
sick.
being so influenced by like films are these large body of works, and maybe that also can like translate to an album, because an album I feel like feels more like a film, whereas like a song feels like an episode of a show or some shit like that.
Yeah,
you know?
Yeah, definitely. I think I think it's just like about like intention. Like there's some songs that I've heard that like sound like films too, where they have like multiple different like arrangements, and they're just like super long. Like some of my favorite songs. That's also another thing. I think also maybe what it is I am a fan of like really long songs. A lot of my favorite songs are like very, very long. So maybe I just by by taste, like I'm just like, all right, let me make long songs. But I also think it is very hard to make a really good long song,
That's
like
very
especially in like
definitely.
2023,
Gotta earn
like
your minutes,
yeah.
True.
And like in terms of intros and outros, I feel like that's like something you don't see a lot, like at this stage or age, like as an artist, where you as like will take the time to like really cultivate an outro or something
yeah.
that's like just like so like storytelling and just like larger than life feeling. Like, and I was like, look, even on like Sonics, or I was looking at I think it was Asuka's Goodbye, like that one, like that outro is just like, my God, like it's like you can't have the story without like that part. It's almost like half of it. It's
Right.
crazy.
Yeah.
Like a lot of people won't take that extra time. I think that's like a super special part of the artistry that you have.
Definitely.
Thank you, man.
Yeah, man.
Definitely.
I have a question about movies that you brought up film.
Yeah.
The Paul Thomas Anderson movies.
Yeah.
That's like a huge part of your influence.
Yeah, that's my favorite director. I kind of like, I don't know, maybe it's a little bit corny, but
No, I
kind
fuck
of
with
like
that.
I kind of like my new like nickname for myself is like the Bronx like Paul Thomas Anderson.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
say like
Whoa.
I'm like Paul Thomas Anderson with like the sense of urgency of like a Bronx native.
That's really
So
cool.
fucking
fire.
cool, man. That psychology, like of those movies, like in general. Like I watched one. What was it?
I'm not familiar with his films. What does he make?
I've only seen the movie Phantom Thread, and
Phantom Thread's really good.
that one like fucked with my head. Like it's like just like this psychological larger than life feeling, and I can definitely see. Or like, are you pulling from that in terms of like your storytelling?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, in terms of like writing, like I don't feel like I have like where like Nick was saying like you have to like live life and stuff. Like I agree with that, and I feel like I for a while like I was scared to like be personal about my life because I was like I feel like my life is not that interesting. But I think a lot of artists kind of like feel that way too, where they're like I don't really like have anything to say about my actual story. But I think like PTA, like he's somebody that like puts himself in every single film that he does, but he does it like in this way where like it would just be about something completely different. I mean, Phantom Thread compared to like have any of y'all seen like There Will Be Blood?
No, I haven't
No.
seen that one.
Like that's my favorite movie ever. But like like to have like that type of like scale between like a dude who's like making dresses and then like and they're both by like do y'all know Daniel Day-Lewis, like the actor?
Oh, I do. Yeah.
Yeah, like he's probably like my favorite actor and
He's in Phantom.
he's in
Thread,
Phantom
right.
Thread.
He's
yeah.
the guy.
Yeah. He's the
okay.
guy. Yeah.
I'm gonna break down the story super quick for you. Okay, basically it's just like this movie where two people fall in love, right? And she like starts to do things for him throughout the movie, right? Like get him his tea, get him his stuff, and she starts to feel insecure that she's like not needed by him in a way. And then like so she starts to put like shrooms in his food so that he needs her. Like he gets sick and like actually physically needs her to take care of him.
Yeah.
It's just this like larger than life. Even the shots that he does, like super grainy, like super like against the grain of like what you would see in like a modern day like cinema.
Absolutely.
Like just like super clear, beautiful 4K shots. Like it's not that at all. It's like complete, right turn.
Right. Yeah.
So cool.
You ever be throwing up those films like in the studio?
Yeah. Like when we were making the album, we would always have a movie that like we were trying to like score like on the screen.
It's so
Yeah,
fucking
a movie
cool,
or
man.
like an anime or like something. Yeah.
That makes perfect sense.
Are you trying to like score films at some point?
Yeah.
Hell
That's
yeah.
that's like what I would really like to do. Like once I'm. Well, actually, no. I don't want to say I'm gonna be done with the album.
Holy shit.
But I want to do film like as well, and like kind of do some like Johnny Greenwood type thing where like I'm doing like scores for like film, but again maybe not necessarily like playing stuff, but more like curating like who
Definitely.
to bring in like
For sure.
for the stuff.